Hello, welcome to my toy box. I'm Scotty. Why don't you get yourself a little monitor and some speakers? Well, just pull up a little internet here and we'll sit down and have a chat. Now, I appreciate you coming over to see this. It's a little nerve wracking. I'm not one of these people that's a natural at getting up and talking into a camera and that. I'm not one of them cute young guys that everybody just wants to look at and they'll listen to them babble on for days. I'm a grizzly old bearded man, and sometimes I don't even listen to myself. But anyway, I do enjoy you coming along, and I'm hoping to do more of these videos. Why? I don't know. Well, I do know why. Let me tell you. A guy I admire, Ark, wrote me a little comment and he said, you know, Scotty, the memes you post are good and all that. Some of them are fun. Links are all right. But he says, you need to write more. We need to hear more about and from you. And I've been thinking about that, and I don't really have a lot going on in my life that's really worth ranting and raving about. And so I get a little bit, what's the word, writer's block? Yeah, see, I even had a vocal block there for a second. The thing is, I just don't know really what to write about, and I'm not one that uh, is creative with telling too great a story on my own. But anyway, but there are a few things I wanted to discuss with you guys today, and you're wonderful people. I love you all, I really do. I have met some of the most compassionate, wonderful, nice people on the internet and coming to my blog and when I go to their blogs, and that they're incredible. So, got a notebook to try to keep me on track here. And we're going to try to keep this to 10 minutes, 15 at the max. Now, first of all, I want to apologize for that post I did the other night that I have since deleted. It was all full of woe is me and oh, I'm so tired of all this and that. Yeah, I do get depression. I do get down. But there's no reason to push it off on everybody else. And I'm going to talk about some things that I've been going through. So you understand that I'm just not somebody who's just a little upset because they didn't get an extra popsicle. Okay? But it was a bad post. I shouldn't have done it. I'd had a few rum and cokes and was feeling that life was unfair. So I wrote that post, and you know what? Yep, I just deleted it. It's not good. It's not a good way to look at life. It's not a good way to look at my situation in particular. Because I have to tell you, for everything going on, I have a heck of a good life. I really do. Stop and think about it for a second. I have no responsibilities and no duties other than to try to get well and stay well. I don't work. I'm taken care of, even to the point where meals are made for me. Now today I did get up and Ronnie's sleeping because he's worked this weekend. He has to work tonight, so he's sleeping. So I did. He had left some leftover spaghetti sauce, and so I had made some pasta. I can boil pasta. I know how to do that. I used to be a good cook. So anyway, but the fact is, Ronnie makes most of my meals. I do know housework because I'm not able, and yet my house is clean. Obviously I have a computer to talk to you guys with and everything else. So, I have medical care, really good medical care. Expensive, but it is good. So there are a lot of people that don't have my advantages. They really don't. And I have the undying love of someone who just thinks I'm the best thing in life and that he puts me on a pedestal and he loves me and he cares for me, and that in itself is golden, really golden. So anyway, I have two cats, and rarely do I clean the cat box. Once in a while I'll feel up to it. I get down there. The problem is a couple years ago, well, a year and a half ago, I went to clean the cat box and it was in a bad place. We've since moved it. And I got down, and when I went to get up, I fell. And it took me 30 minutes or more to get up. And in the meantime, Ron had called me, and I couldn't get to the phone. And so he got real upset, and he said, "That's it. You don't clean the cat box anymore. I'll do it, or James does it, but you don't clean it." Now, when he was gone on his trip, I cleaned the cat box when I could, and had James clean it when I couldn't. Now, having talked about the cat box, I want to get back to the good things in my life. Well, this last visit on Friday with my primary care, I'm now on every 3 months. We went from 2 weeks, every 2 weeks, to every month, and now I'm on every 3 months. And the reason for that is my A1C is finally starting to respond. I went from a 8.9 to a 7.1, and that means I only have 6 more points, points, tenths, or whatever, to get down into the normal range, and they'll like it. I'm on a new medication. It is expensive, but it would cost me about the same as taking the Lantus shots, which was the next step. If this medication did not work, it was the last thing they could try. And it looks like it's going to be okay. I still have to watch my diet really carefully, which I don't, but Ron does. But my sugars are no longer in the 300-400s. They're down to 150 this morning when I got up, and like 120 when I went to bed last night, 105 yesterday. So I'm doing good. I have to take it 4 times a day. But anyway. All right, so why do I get upset? Well, I do have depression and anxieties and all that, and we talked about upping my meds for that. As I've said before on the blog, I don't like to take those kind of meds. They usually make me a zombie. I just stand there, sit there, and stare at the wall. People talk, and I'm conscious of them talking, but I can't process it, can't deal with it. Well, this particular medicine is different. It doesn't do that to me. And it has helped keep my moods more stable instead of mercurial, instead of crashing and then soaring and crashing and soaring, and 1 minute being angry and the next minute weepy and crying and then overjoyed with happiness and that. Ron doesn't have to be careful of what he says, that I might fly off the handle and become a raving lunatic for a little while. But it does need to be increased, because I'm having issues with depression again, and not to the point where I'm going to do self-harm, which is why one of the reasons we started this, because I went back to cutting myself again, and well, I'm over that. I haven't cut myself in a long time. Every now and again I look at the scars and I'm like, oh, but no, I'm good there. And I have people, support networks to call and all that if I get into that situation. But what's been happening is that for the last 6 weeks, and I have an appointment tomorrow to have it taken care of, I have not been able to extend my left leg after sitting. I stand up and I can get it almost down to the ground, but before it can come straight out, intense pain. So intense it'll stop my breathing. It makes me cry. It has, the muscle has no strength to it. So even when I do get it extended, which I have to wiggle and woggle and bare my teeth through it and get it out there, I can't step on it. Now, once I'm up and walking, it's fine. But it's from a sitting or laying position, it's mostly sitting. And because of the pain in it, I can't lay any way in the bed that it doesn't keep me up from the pain, so I'm not sleeping, which means my anemia came back. But the good news is I am eating more. I was only eating once a day, if that, and now I'm up to 2 or 3 times a day. This other medicine they gave me, I think that's the cause of it, I'm not sure, but it actually makes me hungry now. So I'm eating. So that's a good thing. And my latest blood test showed that, my anemia is okay. My red blood cells are okay. They're where I need them. They won't stay there, but we'll go with it. Um, so I got everybody in the doctor's office laughing. I have to tell you guys this. When I go out, I like to have a good time, and I like to joke around. I hate, especially in a doctor's office where everybody's in pain and everybody's sick and everybody is morse and, oh, I want a wine in my glass here. Um, I don't like to come off that way. I hate it, especially because I have it so good, really. Um, and so she handed me my lab slips for my next lab draw before I come in 3 months, which is better than doing it every 2 weeks, trust me. And I said, is this a fasting one? And she said, of course, yes it is. And I turned around and I said, well, that means you can't eat after midnight that day. Everybody broke up laughing. And she just looked at me, she said, you do know it's your blood test. And I said, yes, what's that got to do with it? He don't get to eat. Anyway, so, and the reason why I can't extend my leg has something to do with the yoke in my pelvis and the nerves that are running from my spine. There's a spot right there just where your spine and your buttocks and all that meet, your pelvis is. There's some damage there, and so now when I change the position of that leg, I can no longer, like, if you lay on the bed and put your legs up and draw your up so your knees are up, right? And you should be able to take your legs and put them that way and this way. Well, I can with the right. I can do that. But with the left, I can only go a little bit. And then the pain is so intense in that the leg stops working. So that's been on my mind. I've been having flashbacks to my childhood abuse. And like Ron says, considering what I went through, the rest of my family being so messed up, that it's a wonder that I didn't lose my marbles entirely. Instead, I just have trouble getting them into one bag. So anyway, I have an appointment tomorrow where I'm supposed to get a bunch of shots in my back, and I will, I'll feel better because it's steroids and all that other stuff and that. They're going to check my spine out. See, I have to see the primary care. I hate this. The legislature decided, state senators decided they know more than trained doctors who've spent years in that and schooling and that. So I was on a regimen of meds, and I showed you some of the meds that I take at night. That's just for the pain. Those are just pain meds, all of them. But I was on a regimen of meds that kept my pain at a level that I was okay to function. And the state legislature's trying to cut down on pill mills and overdosing from opioids and OxyContin and all that stuff. So they had to take me off of them because now pain clinics aren't allowed to provide them. The regular doctors can't, but pain clinics can't. And so they're switching all my meds around, and we haven't found meds that actually work as well as the others. And the level, of course, they have to start you at a small level and then slowly increase it until you get relief. Well, for me, that means that I have been in agony since I last saw my primary pain caregiver. Well, she's an ANRP, and I like ANRPs, and they really are good. But the fact is that this new law says that twice a year now I must see an MD in the pain clinic. So tomorrow, instead of seeing the one who's been taking care of me for 4 or 5 years now, I have to go see somebody who's never seen me but once. A long, long time ago, So anyway, I don't know how much I really want to discuss with him on it, but we got to either increase the meds, do something about the back, another MRI or something to find out what's going on. All right, I wanted to get off of me because that's enough of, I'm the most important thing in the world. No, there's people out there that have a lot more serious issues than I do, and I admire and respect them. One is Charity. What she went through, oh my, and yeah, sometimes I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and that, but I want to tell you, that lady has my respect because she keeps her family going and she keeps, she doesn't let it show in front of her children and that. She really is an amazing lady for that and for what she's going through. And there's other people I could mention too, but so I just, that's enough talking about me. It's already 15 minutes. I just want to say a couple things real quick. First of all, I really admire Chelsea Manning, and and I really admire whistleblowers who risk a lot to go ahead and help us know what our government's doing and what companies are doing that it's wrong and against the law. And like Chelsea Manning and Ed Snowden got a horrible, horrible consequences for doing what, in my opinion, was right. Chelsea Manning is a hero. Her leaks showed the government not only lied, but they committed an illegal act of against humanity. There were war crimes. They shot up civilians and a film crew that was filming it, and they glossed it all over. They lied about it, and that she leaked the real stuff. So anyway, she's doing 35 years in a horrible prison situation. She's transgender, which puts her at risk and more. And I mean, the whole entire force of the government was against her and used the military as a hammer against her. I mean, this whole stuff of making her strip 3 or 4 times a day so that they can oogle and Google at her, um, making her sleep nude with just a heavy mat. Um, I don't know about the rest of you, but even I put a sheet over me and I have a temperature controlled room where I get all the settings in that. If you have to sleep somewhere where somebody else is controlling the settings, and you're nude just laying there and in front of view because every few 15 minutes or whatever somebody came and looked at her, made sure she was still breathing and all that. Well, she recently tried to kill herself, and I don't blame her. I think I would in that situation. The government has done every single thing they can to try to destroy her, try to destroy her mental health, try to destroy her emotionally, and they have used techniques that we don't even use anymore on prisoners of war. Okay? Uh, Techniques that were used illegally in Guantanamo, and that's why we can't try those people. Because we tortured, and they did that to her. Now, um, because of her attempted suicide, they're using some arcane old laws, and they're actually talking about putting her into solitary confinement. Think about that. Solitary is hugely mentally disturbing, and that's been proven, and there's just been movies on it and everything recently. And they're going to do that to somebody who had such a mental issue, they tried to kill themselves. Stop and think about that. You know, you have somebody who's a glutton, what are you going to do? Give them more food. Somebody like me who's diabetic and getting to be seriously, very seriously diabetic, what are you going to do? Give me more sugar? You know, that's what they're doing to her. Okay, Ed Snowden should be pardoned and brought back. Chelsea Manning should be pardoned, totally. The government owes her, um, at a minimum, the rest of her transitioning that she needs and that. They got her stuck in the middle of transitioning, and they're not doing anything to help, even though the court said they had to. The military and the administration feel that they're above that. The military always has. Trust me, I've been in 2 branches, and civilians, when they have what they think is a good reason to, they will violate the laws, and they don't really care. You know, if they can get hammered on it and that, they'll change their position. But if they don't, woohoo! All right, this is 20 minutes now, and I didn't want to go that long. Thank you for watching. If you like this, I'll do it some more. If you don't, well, I'll just go back to posting memes and that. Thank you very much. Be well, be happy, be safe. Many hugs.